Hello, welcome. Thank you for the comments already in the chat. I feel so energized knowing there are questions in the chat. Oh my gosh, and I have two people on the stream. Hi friends. We're gonna do Sunflower Flow. So we'll do some sun salutations, vinyasas, and I'll invite some time in there for play and moving through some. I'll give time and we'll practice inversion. So I've been starting to work on. Sorry, I have Instagram on and I have YouTube, except they're not at the same height. So, like I was saying, sorry, I'm adjusting. I feel like I kind of need another light on, but okay. Let me get started. It's about a 30-ish minute, 35 minutes for class today. So thank you for joining. If you haven't joined, please do like and subscribe. My name is Allison. I am with Sunflower Collective Yoga. This is my page, Sunflower Collective Outdoors. So we will be doing a Sunflower Flow. I appreciate you joining. If you need any tools like a yoga block, a yoga strap, those are always nice to have when you're practicing. I like tools. Some people don't practice with tools, so do whatever you like. It's an assist. It's not a requirement. And just because you use those tools to move through different poses doesn't mean that you're not at your full ability. It is a tool to help you. So don't look bad. Don't look down on tools. I love tools. I used to be a swim instructor, and I used to always love using those tools in my class. So we're gonna get started. So go ahead and meet on your mat. We're gonna just jump right into it. Remember, the breath is always the consistent. I appreciate the comments, and I will incorporate some of them in, and we will incorporate them in through my other classes as well. And again, before I get started, make sure I post my classes on YouTube Live, so you'll see when I'm teaching upcoming. So if something's not captured here, there are more classes, and I will be capturing. And you can always message me because I do read it, and I am definitely happy for messages. All right, okay. We're gonna. Man, I like the candle right there. It's a little bit of a vibe. It's probably a little distracting, so I'm definitely gonna move it, but I don't think it's distracting, is it? No, it's not distracting. I think it's cute. I'm gonna leave the candle there because it's the energy we have right now. It's the energy we have right now. All right, everyone, let's meet in the middle of the mat. We're gonna start with some ohms and coming into our practice. Self-practice takes more cultivation, so thank you for joining me here today. So we're going to put our hands to heart center, and we're going to do some breaths. So breathe in, release out the mouth, breathe in, breathe out the mouth, again, breathe in, release out. This time, release through your nose, breathe in, release out. Again, and out. One more time, breathe in and out. And we're going to start with 1 Om. So we're going to breathe in and release our breath out. Breathe in, release out. Breathe in. Beautiful. So we're going to take our hands and just take them out to your side. We're just going to get some movement right here. Move your arms side to side. Sunflower Flo is a vinyasa flow, and we are flowing. So my other class, the MDRs, which is minimum daily requirements, we are working more aligned with rocket yoga. So that's a rocket yoga inspired class. And you can come to stillness. We are going to step to the top of the mat. We're going to jump into our sun salutations. So in our sun salutations, can I do it this way? I always go this way. Like a little set design over here. So in our sun salutations, make sure those hands are wide and eyes looking up when we're moving. Back and up. So at the top of your mat, bring your hands to get heart center. Breathe in. Release out. Breathe in. Take those hands up and fold. Up halfway. Fold. And vinyasa. Step back. Jump back. You can bring your knees down or down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths right here. Spread those fingers. Remember, in these down dogs, you can do any movement you'd like. You can stay in total stillness. You can do 3-legged dog. Your hip is pointed down, foot pointed down. And you want to make sure you do the same thing on the opposite side. 2 more breaths right there. Keep going. Thank you for the comment, Paul. You're so nice. Keep breathing. 1 more breath. And come to neutral. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. And rise all the way to the top. Hands to heart center. Beautiful. And again. Hands going up. Fold. Halfway. Look halfway up. Fold. Vinyasa. Step back, jump back. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths right here. 5 breaths. And you know, through the practice, especially the self-practice you are dedicating yourself through to, you really cultivate that practice and that fire within yourself. So you're going to keep going. I love being in a classroom, but you know what? Having a personal practice and being able to practice where you are is key. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Up halfway. Fold. Rise all the way on up. And hands to heart center. Beautiful. And let's take it on up again. Keep that flow going. Hands up. And fold. Up halfway. Fold. Step back. Jump back. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 5 breaths to get it together. 5 breaths to get it together, my friends. 2 more. 1 more. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Rise all the way on up. Hands to heart center. Great movement. We're going to do our sun B. Sun B. Arms go on up. Maybe get a little back bend here at the top. And chair pose. Come into that chair. Sit those buns back. Remember, your chair can look, everyone's chair can look different. So just remember that. Chair pose. Release those shoulders by your ears. Turn those hands in. They should be facing each other. And fold. Up halfway. Fold. Vinyasa. Step back, jump back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot step forward. Warrior 1. Warrior 1. Back foot's at 45-degree angle. Take that right knee. It should be looking at you should be able to see your toes. Hands facing each other. Release those shoulders. They're not shrugged up by your ears. And take those arms down, vinyasa. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step that left foot forward, warrior 1. Right, left, right, left. Sorry, I don't want to be confusing. Don't want to be confusing. And bend into that and take those hands down. Vinyasa. Take those hands down in vinyasa. Down dog, 5 breaths right here. And if you'd like to, remember, do any of those poses. Maybe I'm going to step into Malasana squat. Do something a little different. Sunflower Flo. Do what feels good. But what's the consistent? Your breath is always the consistent. I'm looking at my plants and they need to get repotted. So I'm hoping to do that today and some sprucing up work. So send my plants good luck. They're about to get some new soil. I think they're screaming at me right now. 1 more breath. Come back to your neutral position. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Rise into chair pose. And stand all the way on up. Hands to heart center. Nice movements. We're going to do another sun B. So the top of the mat, hands heart center again. Hands go on up, Samastitahi. Maybe a little back bend right there. And chair pose. Fold. Up halfway. Fold. And step back or jump back, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1. Right foot forward. Get into that position. And take your arms down, vinyasa. Upward facing dog, down dog. Left side, warrior one. And vinyasa. Move to that vinyasa and 5 breaths when you get to that down dog. Five breaths. When you get to that down dog, start that countdown. Keep breathing. Remember, if you have another pose you'd like to do, incorporate that. You can slowly incorporate more and more of those when you learn them. A couple more breaths, 2 more. One more. And come to neutral. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Chair pose. And stand all the way on up. Hands to heart center. Beautiful, my friends. Nice flow. We're going to practice crow pose right here. So we're going to practice crow pose. And so in the crow pose, you can, again, if you're not ready to do crow, you can always do malasana squat like I did, or you might have already done. So those are 2 good choices for you. I feel like crow pose is always a journey, period. It's a journey. So don't feel any type of way. But I like to use blocks and other assistive tools to help out with that. And blocks, I have cork blocks, but if you have foam blocks, those are way more comfortable if you fall on it, because crow pose, you're balancing on your 2 hands and on your like body weight. So you got to learn how to fall properly, and that is a word. So if you want to do your malasana squat, I'm going to show that, and then I'm going to we'll practice doing crow. So in your malasana squat, your feet can be wide together. You don't need the block. I'm just holding it. Your feet can be about hips width, or not hips width. It can be hips width or a little wider, whatever's comfortable for you. And then you go down. You want to try to get your ankles, not your ankles, your heels to touch the ground. My heels do not touch the ground. Something else that you can do, your yoga mat, you can roll your yoga mat up so that you're on the heels. It gives like a little elevation. Or if you have a blanket or anything you use in your class, you can roll it up the long ways and put it under your heels. I'm looking to see if I have a blanket in here, and I don't. I'll go get one and I'll demo. So you can do that, or we'll practice crow pose. So I'll demo crow, and then you can start practicing, and I'm going to find a blanket so I can demo how to put it under your heels. Crow pose. Hands, they're wide. We're working on getting our knees up into our in our underarm. Okay, so it's between your elbow and your underarm. So we take our hands down. We bring try to have your toes touching. Toes and heels touching. Bring your hands down. Your eyes look forward. Maybe you just bring one foot off. Maybe you practice. My arms always slide down, and it's all in the upper. You have to push, turn that in, press. You can, I use a block too, but go ahead and start practicing your crow. Practice your crow pose. Let me go see if I can find a blanket. Couple more seconds of play with that crow. I found a blanket. So you can roll the blanket up this way. Or you don't even have to do that. Like, you can just like fold it over like this. And then when you're down, the blanket is under your heel, so it's like the ground is coming to you. And that's if you need it. All right, and wind down, and let's meet at the top of the mat. Beautiful. We're gonna do a vinyasa. So arms going up. Fold. Up halfway. Fold. Crow pose or malasana. So go ahead and practice your crow again. More time. And step back, jump back, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. And take that right foot through. Warrior one. Warrior one. And then open on up to warrior two. Stretch those hands, opposite directions. Nice stretch. Peaceful warrior. Take that left hand down your back leg, or you can wrap your arm around. Peaceful warrior. You can take this as light or as deep as you want. Eyes are looking up at the hands. And come back to warrior two. And we'll straighten that right leg and take that arm down. Triangle, side angle. It's triangle. That hand, this is a good place for a block. If you're like, oh, I can't touch the ground, the block can go right here. And the block has 3 different levels, so it's whatever works for you. Okay, and then take that left hand down. We're framing out the foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. And step that right leg back. And vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step that left foot forward. Arms come on up, warrior one. Open up into warrior two. Stretch those fingers. Make sure that knee is pointing towards the left corner of the mat. See your toes. Open those hips up. Peaceful warrior. Take that arm down or wrap it around. This is a nice movement right here. So it could take time to move to be able to be in this position the way you want to be. So consistency is the way. There could be small things someone else does amazing. You're like, it's not that much, but all our bodies are different. Keep stretching and release. Come back to warrior two. And let's take our arm down, right arm up. So again, if you have a block or you straighten out your left leg. Your hand can be on the block or it can be on the mat. Or a book or anything you need to help you. Keep breathing. And take that hand down, frame out the foot. Step back, vinyasa. Upward facing dog, downward dog. Couple breaths right here. And bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Rise all the way on up. Hands to heart center. Beautiful. We're going to do another vinyasa, and then we'll start winding it down through some more poses and inversions. So the energy up, and then we level, but we keep the flow. And let's take the arms right on up. Little back bend here and fold. Up halfway. Fold. Step back, jump it back. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift that right leg. Three-legged dog. Make sure that hip is pointed down. That foot is pointed down. And let's take that foot to the right elbow. Crunch it in. Nice three-legged dog. Let's bring it into the middle. Back on up. To the left elbow. Twist it over. Three-legged. And take that right leg through. And take that left knee down. We're going to take our right hands on top of our right knee. And get a nice little stretch right here. You want to be able to see your toes. Maybe you want to stretch out more in this position, whatever feels good. And if it hurts in the knee, if you put maybe the blanket or a towel under the knee, that helps. And take your hands down. And this time we're doing runner's lunge, or you bring your leg back so your foot is flat on the mat, or lift it up. And you're just going to move back and forth. So go ahead and move back and forth. And come back to your neutral position. Let's take those hands both on the left side of the foot, and we're going to take our elbows down. So your elbows can come down together. Maybe you need a block because you're like, what? A WTF? I can't reach the ground. Let's get comfortable here. Grasshopper. I don't know if you can see me. Let me turn around. Like this. I think you can see me. I think it's probably hard. I need like a couple cameras and like be able to like push a button and the camera zooms in or something. So anyway, we're in this position, and you can stay up or you can take your elbows down. It depends where you're at. A couple more breaths right there. One more breath. And slowly make your way back on up. And take that right foot back. Go ahead into down dog. Nice, still vinyasa. Knee back in down dog. Step the left foot. We're going to bring that one in to the left elbow. Three-legged dog. Bring that left leg into the middle. Three-legged dog. And to the right elbow. Three-legged dog. And let's bring that left foot all the way through. Bring that right knee down. Frame the foot out, and go ahead and move back and forth. Couple more right here. One more. Come to neutral. And then you can take your both hands onto the right side of your foot. And you can stay right here or bring your elbows all the way down. Remember, everything is optional. You have to work to this point if it doesn't feel good. Keep breathing. One more breath. Hands to neutral. And step that left leg back. Go ahead to your down dog and vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And when you get to down dog, just come onto all fours and push back into child's pose. A lot of stretching here today. Get your stretch on. Feel that child's pose. You can always take your knees wider if you need to. Keep breathing. And we're going to come onto our backs. So on our back, we're going to do a couple poses. You can bring your right leg is bent. Bring your left leg over your right leg. Flex that right foot. And you can thread through the needle right here if you'd like to. So you can grab on the top of your knee or behind, whatever feels good. So there's 3 different levels to this. A couple breaths right here. Release, switch. Bring that left leg in to wherever it feels good for you. And release right there. Or do happy baby. So bring both your feet up. And you can grab the bottoms of your feet or you can grab your toes. So take 2 fingers in between your toes, whichever one feels better. Maybe you want to rock back side to side right here. Nice, that's really therapeutic. And put our feet down. We're going to do bridge and wheel pose. So you can take your hands down to your side, hands facing down. Bring your feet in more, scooch them close to your bum. And we're going to lift on up into bridge, and you can scooch your shoulders underneath. Gives you more lift. And breathe right here. This is bridge. And the next one I'll do wheel. So do whatever you're called to do. Stay safe in whatever pose you choose. And like and subscribe. I have to remember to slip that in. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to come here. Release. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We here. We want to sweat together. It's a community. And we're going to push on up into bridge or wheel pose. And go right ahead. Keep breathing. And release back down. Nice. And we're going to do one more. So whichever you choose, your wheel or your bridge, whichever one. And go on up, bridge or wheel. Go right on up. Breathe through it, breathe through it. Push through those hands, push through the movements, keep breathing. And release one down. Nice. Bring your legs in. Just move side to side. Nice. And let's roll like a ball. And sit on up. Let's do some more stretches. So when you're in this position, your legs can be relaxed, or you can stack your legs. So you can stack them both, so your feet are flexed, and you stack your, it's like knee to knee. So it's stacked. Or if you want to go deeper, you can go deeper into the pose. You can do lotus if that is in your practice. And you lotus, you're moving your foot. It's like they're kind of all tucked in there. It slowly gets more and more comfortable. So it just really depends. And you kind of have to adjust how you're sitting. Like when I meditate on a meditation cushion, and I like to sit in like lotus pose or something closer to it. It just feels more comfortable. And I'm sitting up. I'm not like slouched back. I'm sitting up. So whatever position feels good for you, I usually just do one leg like that and stuff. That's comfortable for me. So wherever you're at, take both your hands on top of your knees. And we're just going to do a twist. So take the right hand onto the left knee. And the left hand is behind your back on the ground, into the ground. And you're turning and looking over that shoulder. That right hand is pressing into the knee. Sitting up straight. Breathe. So many things. And release back forward. And take that left hand onto that right knee. And take that right hand behind you. And come back to center. And let's take our hands out in front of us. Crawl them out. And breathe. Press those hands into the ground. Beautiful. Come up to center. And I'm going to give y'all some time to practice. If you'd like to do another vinyasa right here, if you would like to practice crow pose again, Malasana squat, legs up the wall, Shavasana, we're coming to that part in the class where you can choose. So I'm going to give you time to move through some movements and just keep cultivating the closing that we're doing in our class. So keep the breath flowing and go ahead and move through your movements. Move through your movements. The breath is the consistent. Keep breathing. It sounds so funny, but it's so true. The breath is the consistent. And as we start to wind down, go ahead and start to wind down from the closing poses you decided to take. And we're going to start moving into Shavasana. Shavasana. I'm going to read you an affirmation card to take with you during your meditation in this time right now. And today, our affirmation: I am a conduit for goodness, prosperity, and love. I am focused, grounded, and complete the tasks at hand. I am open to receive inspiration and great wealth. Building. That's our affirmation. You are a conduit. You are grounded. You are present. You showed up. Your consistency. Shavasana. So we'll take, you can roll onto your side, keep your eyes closed. And when you're ready, slowly come on up into a seated position. Eyes can stay closed or open, whatever feels good for you. And in this position, you take your hands to heart center. We're going to end class with an Om. So breathe in, release out. Breathe in. Ashe. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe. Please share. Thank you for joining. I'm always going to get your comments. I really appreciate all the feedback and information, and I will incorporate it in the future. If you have any questions, please reach out. Have a lovely day, and thank you for joining in, my friends. Join me on Instagram and all my other socials. Information will be in the description box. Thank you.